This is the time for growth and the government will spend all additional resources it gets. That is a categorical statement from the Finance Minister. Speaking to CNBC-TV18's Nayantara Rai, Jaitley said that the government has pledged to pump prime the economy. However, for the first time, the Finance Minister admitting that the government could fall short of its 69,000 crore rupee disinvestment target, but also for the first time hinting at a piecemeal approach to solve the power Discom debt crisis, suggesting that perhaps the government could move forward with 4 states that are the worst impacted, that includes UP, Haryana, Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu, and the other 4 could perhaps be dealt with later. He also urged state governments to hike power tariffs to repay bank loans. The Finance Minister also dismissed concerns over tax collections, and he said categorically that he expects indirect taxes to beat estimates. He's also vowed that any revenue shortfall will only be marginal. Take a look.
You see, even when the process of calculating or projecting future growth in this country under the new series is gaining majority, I think the most authentic data is the revenue collection. Revenue collection is real. There is no question of calculation or any calculation opinion or lapses. Now, the fact that indirect tax revenue is going up and going up quite reasonably well, I think our macroeconomic parameters are under control. Direct tax revenue also has started moving up. And the likelihood of falling short in terms of revenue, if at all, is going to be very marginal. In fact, in indirect tax collection, the projected growth is more than expected. So we are going to go beyond the target. Now, if that is the position, it comprises of excise, customs duty and service tax. So if excise collections go up, and I'm not taking the additional revenue measures into consideration, I'm just taking on year-on-year basis. If excise goes up, that means manufacturing is increasing. If customs goes up, that means raw material and capital goods are coming into the country, which is a good sign for the future. And if service tax goes up, that means the services are expanding. So these 3 are good parameters. So I am anticipating a good rate of growth. We probably will cross last year's figure. And compared to what's happening in the rest of the world, it's going to be very significantly higher.
Discoms I wanted to talk to you about, because Mr. Piyush Goyal has said that they've virtually sealed a deal with the states. By when can we see that being rolled out? And is hiking the FRBM limit enough? What can the centre do?
You see, the states have to take a decision in this. You can't borrow from banks in order to subsidize the consumers, because somebody has to pay the banks. Either the taxpayer pays or the consumers pay. And it's only obvious that we must get Indian consumers into the habit for paying for the services that they use. Unless the users pay, any kind of facilities won't develop. And therefore, Mr. Piyush Goyal, the Power Minister, is working in that direction with the states, so that slowly the defaulting states at least can start recovering more from their consumers and start paying the banks. Now, the time limit will depend on how quickly they enter into and seal the deal with the states. But I see no option.
Because of Bihar elections.
No, but Bihar is not one of those states which is affected. You see, first of all, it's Uttar Pradesh, it's Rajasthan, it's Haryana and Tamil Nadu. These are the first 4 states. And then there are a few other states which have to take a decision. But then, obviously, the states will have to assume that it is their responsibility, even though the Discom may be a separate legal entity. It's not very far distinct as far as from the state is concerned. It's not a private company.
So no timeline as yet when that could go to cabinet. And is hiking FRBM limit enough as well?
No, you see, at least it becomes a part of the sovereign state debt in that event. And once that happens, then the state has to be concerned about the repayment itself.
After 8 years, we have seen a fiscal surplus. Are you going to, 3.9% is your target for the fiscal deficit. Will you spend more? It certainly looks like you may have to increase your spending to meet 3.9% and actually not fall to 3.8, etc.
You see, my first priority is going to be to spend this money. Spending will lead to economic activity. Economic activity will lead to growth. This is a time when we need growth. Bringing it down from 4 to 3.9% is not a serious challenge. We'll comfortably be able to do it. But whatever surplus we get or whatever resources we get, I think we'll try and spend them.
And disinvestment, it has not kept up the momentum for obvious reasons, but the fact is 69,000.
The disinvestment, we had a very high target. The only challenge in disinvestment is that there are a large number of metal companies, and this may not be the right time for metal companies.
So you will have that deficit to take care of then?
Now we'll try and see how the deficit can be met.
There's no plan B. And the strategic hotel sale, that hasn't happened.
You see, disinvestment department is working hard. They've come out with several issues. There is still half a year to go.
Well, that's the Finance Minister saying that the government does not intend to lower its fiscal deficit target to 3.6%, though it will use the surplus to try and stimulate growth, also saying categorically that indirect tax collections will beat estimates, and if there is a revenue shortfall on account of the shortfall on the disinvestment side, then it will be marginal. So let's see what the government plans to do. Now on to